Is that direct US criticism already stirring Israel into action on aid for Gaza? Well, the Vice President, Kamala Harris, was especially blunt, saying the Israeli government must do more to significantly increase the flow of aid. No excuses. Well, this is what had been happening. Now, before the war, 500 trucks used to enter Gaza every day. That obviously stopped with the attacks on October the 7th, but then aid did come in with that ceasefire. It has started to peter out, even though there was that International Court of Justice ruling saying Israel should allow it. Now, today, the Israeli government said that 277 trucks had entered Gaza on Sunday. That's this big jump at the end, and it's certainly the second highest figure since the war began. And this is what that convoy was carrying. Food and shelter equipment are the biggest deliveries. Getting aid into Gaza is tricky. The UN has blamed Israel. Israel has blamed the UN. But it's a convoluted process. Most aid comes into Al Arish port in Egypt. It's then taken over to the Israeli border at Nitzana, where the goods are checked for contraband. Then they return to Egypt. The trucks go onwards, some to the Israeli crossing at Kerem Shalom, others on the Egyptian side over to Rafah, and once they're through, the goods are unloaded and distributed through Gaza, although very little is making its way to the north. And there's another factor here, a breakdown in civil order, with trucks being overwhelmed. This video, verified by Sky News, emerged this weekend. We've seen several other incidents like it. The UN had warned about this even before the convoy disaster that left scores dead last week, saying in some places it simply wasn't safe to deliver supplies because, quote, desperately hungry people were ransacking trucks. And one way around all those problems was this: distributing aid from the sky instead. Jordan and the US carrying out joint airdrop operations. But it is largely a symbolic message of their frustration with the Israeli process on the ground, because it is nowhere near enough. In Gaza, 500,000 people are already on the brink of food catastrophe, a technical term which is defined like this: starvation, death and destitution are apparent. So 38,000 meals are not going to make a big difference. Beyond that, 2.2 million face a food crisis or worse. That big jump in aid trucks yesterday needs to be sustained if any of that is to change.